I love my kids, but I absolutely do not enjoy motherhood.
I regret having children and I wish I could just die instead.
Here's my hot take, so don't come at me. But for the most part, motherhood is deeply unsatisfying.
I'm going to say something that will make some people upset. I think we need to normalize regretting having your children.
My daughter is apparently moving out. I'm in hopeful disbelief. I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm holding my breath to make sure it's real.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of moms regret their kids. A lot of moms hate their kids. A lot of moms don't like their kids. A lot of moms are being moms because they have to.
So in my video, when I say that I don't think children and motherhood is worth it, I want to explain that.
I regret being a parent. Now, before you come for me, please hear me out.
What's up, everyone? Today, we're talking about something that's incredibly difficult, but needs to be discussed. The growing number of women who are openly saying they regret becoming mothers. This is a topic that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but we're seeing more honest conversations about the reality that motherhood isn't the fulfilling experience society promises it will be for everyone. If you've seen these discussions online, or if you're struggling with these feelings yourself, you're not alone, and this conversation is important. We're going to look at why this is happening, what's behind these feelings, and why women are finally speaking up about this. Let's dive in.
So in my video, when I say that I don't think children and motherhood is worth it, I want to explain that. When I say that I don't think it's worth it, here is exactly what I mean. If you're a mom, you'll more than likely understand what I'm talking about, and if you don't, have the empathy to understand that other people could feel this way. And if you're child-free, I want you to listen with open ears and open mind and take this information as you will. Also, disclaimer, one truth for a lot isn't the truth for all. So now that I've made that clear, I'll explain. When I look at my daughter, I think, wow, you were worth it all. And I mean it. I mean it with my whole heart. Now, when I say that motherhood isn't worth it, I'm not talking about my daughter specifically. I'm not sitting here saying, Harley's just not worth it. Like, I couldn't even imagine a mother saying that about their child. But the motherhood journey isn't worth it. That's why we are one and done. We have zero interest in having any more children. The thought of another hypothetical child, whether it would be a little boy or a little girl, they are not worth it. They are not worth going through everything that I went through with pregnancy, with birth, and postpartum. So that's why I would never have another child. Now, my daughter specifically, I look at her and I'm like, yeah, she's worth it. She's worth it to wake up in the morning. She's worth it for me to work hard at trying to heal my mind, my body, my spirit, and to work hard in this life. She is worth it all, but a hypothetical child isn't worth it. What comes with motherhood, I like to put it as, it is the ultimate ego death. In this lifetime, you don't have to go through that kind of ego death. I feel like a lot of people put on child-free people like, you just don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. And sure, you don't know what you don't know, so of course they don't know. But like, to me, when I talk to child-free people, I flat out say, like, no, you don't have to go through that kind of an ego death. That kind of an ego death some people don't come back from. It's the ultimate sacrifice every single day of your mind, your body, your spirit, everything about you. Every single thing in your life is different. And of course, there are the moms that are like, you could still do this, you could still do that. I understand what you're saying, but I can't do those things the same and with the same mind because now I see things differently. Motherhood changes you from the inside out. So to me, if you're still doing all the same things you used to do and you don't have certain fears, to me, I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? Because, no, I'm not going on that ride. Because if something happens to me, then my child doesn't have a mother. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a really small, stupid example. But what I say is, when I say it's not worth it, I say to child-free people, especially if you're on the line about having kids, no, I don't think it's worth it. I think that you don't have to go through that kind of ego death in your life. I think you can have a very fulfilled, loving, beautiful life with beautiful experiences that don't involve such an ego death, which is children. They bring that. If you're a good parent, it comes with it. That's my opinion. So that's when I say it's not worth it. That's what I mean. Now that I have my daughter and I know her and I see her Yes, of course she's worth it. She's always worth it for me to keep it pushing. But would I do it again? No, that's why I'm one and done. Why the fuck would I do that again? So that's just a very small discussion piece on me explaining that. I can get into more detail on that, but I mean, I feel like I am trying to keep it as basic as possible for the people that have like one brain cell, you know?
Guys, this is just like a video because I honestly don't know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm literally going crazy every single day. And I feel so beyond alone. Like, being a parent is the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Or more, being a mother is the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I always wanted to be a mum. I always wanted to have kids. I just thought things would be different. I don't know if I romanticized motherhood or I romanticized how I thought this life was gonna go. And now that I'm here, it's like I hate it. Like, I hate it. I hate it every single day. I don't want to be here. And it's like, I know I have nobody else to blame but myself, so I don't need people coming and telling me that it's my fault because I chose to have these kids. I know that. I know that it's my fault. I know that I can't blame anybody else. It was my decision that led to the situation that I'm in, but it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't hurt any less. I don't know. Being a mother of a toddler is extremely challenging. The screaming, the tantrums, the yelling, the overstimulation. Like, I'm just touched out. Like, I just need space. I need a break, and I don't get that. I don't get a break. I don't get space. I don't get time to myself. If he doesn't nap, I legit am just up 24/7 on go mode. Like, without breathing, without eating, without thinking, without stopping for a moment, because like, those naps are just that crucial part of your life, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or like 3 hours. Like, it allows you to just sit down and breathe and just forget. This shit is hard. And like, I'm just really tired. Like, I'm really fucking tired. And I just don't have anyone around me that like understands what I'm going through, or like is a mother. And like, I just feel like I'm constantly failing every single day. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. It's like, it's the point where I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here for my kids. I don't want to be here for myself. I don't know. I don't want to cry on the internet, but it's like, I don't have anybody else to talk to. I don't have anywhere else to turn to. I don't have the community. I don't have the people around me. Like, it's just me, and I'm stuck. And I'm trying so hard every single day, but it shouldn't be this hard. I don't want to try anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, it's just, I don't know, and it's my fault. Like, I know that it's my fault because my decisions led to this. I chose this. I just thought it would be different. I thought it would be easier in some ways. I don't know what I thought. I don't know. I just feel like I'm losing my mind.
I regret being a parent. Now, before you come for me, please hear me out. For the longest time, I didn't want kids. My husband and I were on the same page, and then we got to year 11 in our marriage, and through some discussions and things, we decided we did want to start a family. We changed our minds, as people do. And I think we went into it thinking that it might not even happen because we had some friends with fertility issues and things like that, so we thought maybe this might not even happen for us, so we're just gonna go ahead and try anyway. Instead, it happened very quickly, and I think that kind of shocked us a bit. And For 2 straight weeks, I cried thinking about it because I was like, what have I done? I've ruined my plans. What am I doing? I got over it after the initial shock of it all. And then the pandemic hit and we had our daughter, and I thought, great, now this is not going at all as what I thought. And it was hard, but I love my daughter. She is hilarious. She is so sweet. She's so smart, witty. I can be having the worst day ever, and she knows that, and she'll give me a hug, and she brightens every part of my day. And I love being her mom, and I love being a mom. But there were a lot of reasons why I didn't want kids. And one of those reasons was that I didn't want to bring a kid into a world that was declining as it is. And I don't know if this happens every generation. I don't know if every generation has thought, what am I bringing my kids into? But especially with the state of things as of late, I look into her eyes and how bright it is and how wonderful she sees everything. And I just think, what have I done? Because one day it's not going to be as bright for her. And look at everything that's happening. So in that respect, I regret being a parent, even though I love being a mom. And I just wanted to share that with you today, in case anybody else feels that way.
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of moms regret their kids. A lot of moms hate their kids. A lot of moms don't like their kids. A lot of moms are being moms because they have to. If majority of these moms had the choice to give their kids away with no repercussions, they would. And I don't blame them, because I probably would too. You know what? I know I would. You want to know why? Because it's not fair for one person to sit around and be the caregiver, the financial provider, the emotional support, everything for 1, 2, 3, 4 children, while the other parent just up and do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it with no repercussions. Yeah, you can put them on child support, don't mean they're going to pay it. Yeah, you can send the cops to them, don't mean they're not going to duck and dodge them. What's taking their license going to do? Baby, they still going to drive that car. It's not fair. And they wonder why mothers be they self and these kids. And I don't want to hear, oh, that's why you need to get married before you have children. That's why y'all need to stop giving y'all wombs to everybody. Bye-bye. Shut the fuck up. Because a half of you females that, yo, you shouldn't be giving your womb, protect your womb. Bitch, you done thought you was in love with this man. You done gave this man your womb, had his baby, then he start flipping on your motherfucking ass soon as that baby come out your stomach. That ring ain't gonna stop no man from cheating. That ring ain't gonna stop no man from being a deadbeat. Only thing is, you got a ring on your finger, a man in your house, and you still a single mom. Shut the fuck up. It's too many people out here telling these women, oh, you gotta hold yourself accountable. Oh, you gotta hold yourself accountable. What the fuck do you think the mother, the bitch? Do you think she's not holding herself accountable? She's holding herself accountable every day she wake up to take care of that child. She's holding herself accountable every day she got to get up and make some food for that child when she not even hungry. She holding herself accountable every day she got to put her shit to the side just to make sure that kid got what they need. Stop it. That last time I checked, that's enough accountability for me. Stop only holding these women accountable. The woman need the man to have the fucking baby in the first place. Hold these men accountable. It's a lot of moms out here regretting becoming mothers because of how their pregnancy went and because they have to do it on their own out here. Stop putting more dirt on their fucking shoulders when they deal with dirt every fucking day taking care of these kids that these dads abandoned. Because at the end of the day, they already got it in the back of their heads. When these kids grow up, now they're going to be hating the mama because the dad decided to not be in their life. What type of shit is that?
I regret having children and I wish I could just die instead. Hey, I regret having children and I wish I could just die instead. Hey, please can you give me some advice on what I can do? My 4-year-old child is driving me crazy and it makes me so miserable. I have not known peace since the day I gave birth to him. I thought being a parent would be easy because I'm selfless, but I've quickly realized that this is not the case and I really hate this child. He always has something to say, he always complains about something, and he always have a response to everything I tell him. I could ask him things as simple as put up your underwear and he will still go ahead to complain. He never listens to anything I have to say at any point in his little insignificant life. I hate raising him so much and I wish I could just take poison and die. I am miserable in my house every time he's around and I only feel happy when I send him to visit family. I am considering taking him abroad to a boarding school where I can then become a part-time parent. I'm a single parent with no support. I can't even have a shower in peace, and all of a sudden he needs to go to the toilet as well. He's always overreacting and always hyperactive to the point where I just cannot bear it anymore. I wish I had an abortion. Please, can you let me know if these feelings are valid or if it's just me?
If you had kids and you regret it, it's okay to be honest. And the reason I say this is because today I came across a gem of a page on Facebook called I Regret Having Kids. And oh my God. Oh my God. But here's what I find interesting. Every single story on that page is anonymously written. Parents are in denial, and this is what I've been saying to y'all, and y'all get mad at me, but bruh, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Parenting is not easy, and it's not for everyone. And y'all don't know it until you know it, unless you're like me and many other people who are like, wait a damn minute. Just because I have a uterus don't mean it needs to be utilized. The amount of women and men on this page, I mean, just pouring their hearts and minds out to how they truly feel about being a parent and the regret. But the anonymous part, I just find it so interesting because it's like, y'all swear we're just making this up. Oh, there must be a reason why you don't want kids. You must not be able to have kids. I hate when people say that. That's disgusting, first off, to even come to that conclusion. But it just shows that a lot of parents are in denial, and you are scared as hell to admit how you truly feel, and you don't want anyone knowing. But you gotta vent. You gotta tell somebody. So you post it anonymously. But it's okay to be honest and not be honest anonymously. It would help a lot of people if y'all were just fucking honest. It won't hurt my feelings. It will not hurt my feelings if my mom was like, you know what? Yes, I was stressed. Yes, it was hard. Yes, I felt these things. Because I know she did. But I feel like y'all are scared of what your children will think. Maybe as a kid it would hurt, but like once they become an adult, like I feel like it's okay to be honest. So that they don't go into this fully thinking that it's going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and daisies, and it's not.
I didn't think I'd get PPD this bad. Even though my baby is only 10 months old, not a day goes by where I don't want to disappear or hurt myself. I'm in therapy and on medication, but I don't think I'll ever be myself again. I'm just an empty shell. Being called mama irritates the soul out of me. My child is 6, and I wish I understood that my PPD was a sign to adopt him out. Now it's too late for me. The bad feelings never went away. I can't do this. I wasn't cut out for this. I feel like I'm pouring all of myself into a bottomless pit that gives thanks by screaming furiously at me. I didn't want to keep him, but my partner's parents convinced me to. Any breaks I get from my son, I spend dreading when I'll have to take him back. If my kids were not my kids, I would cross the road to avoid them. I have nothing left to give. I can't stand my 14-year-old. I wish she was never born. I hate being her mom. I hate coming home every day to her. I don't know how to accept this is my life now without wishing every day I hadn't ruined it with a baby. I'm just alone with this terrible toddler, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering how I could have messed up my life so much. A year into motherhood, I go to bed every single night dreading the next day. Never in a million years would I have guessed I could be this unhappy. There hasn't been a single day in an entire year that I've enjoyed. I yearn for the life I used to have. I miss it so much it hurts. I don't even see glimpses of myself anymore. My anxiety runs my world. I've completely lost the old me. I wish I had known that every day would start with cortisol surging through my body before the sun rises. My nerves shot before breakfast time. The best part of my day is when my kids go to school. Right now I'm locked in the bathroom trying to recoup so I don't start yelling while my 5-year-old does the exact opposite of what I've asked them to do from the other side of the door. This life is relentless and I'm so fucking exhausted.
There's parents out there who don't even like their kids. Let's talk about it. I was at my goddaughter's sweet 16 party a few months ago. I was speaking with an elderly lady because she was like, "Oh, when are you having the next one, etc." And I was like, "Honestly, I've already made my masterpiece. There is no part two." And she commended me because she was like, "You know what? I should have had the same mentality as you." And she's like, "Not that I regret my children," but she has five. She's like, "Not that I regret my children, but I should have stopped at two." And I was like, "Wow, well, that's really insightful of you and very honest. Thank you for sharing that with me." And she was like, "I don't know which two, but I had five children. It was too many children. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was too young. Everyone was just telling me, have your kids, have your kids. Kids are important." And she wasn't really thinking long term. She was just more thinking like, this is what she is supposed to do. Now, with that said, the person who I stitched this with, like, I understand there's some people who regret having their children, and, that's something that they have to figure out and work through. But also, I do think that things are changing where a lot of women who once felt obligated, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm here for, I'm supposed to procreate and make children, be fruitful. I think it's now changing where women are now feeling more empowered to be like, you know what, this is not for me. This is not the life I want. And I think there's tremendous courage because there's so many people out here like, you need to have kids, you need to all of this. And at the end of the day, there's some people out here full on regretting having their children. I'm not trying to judge, but I just think that it's super insightful that some people are taking the time to really process and understand what it is to be a parent and bringing a person, because people think it's a baby, but bringing a real person, a living person into this world and everything that comes with. So yeah, shout out to you guys who choose not to have children, and shout out to those who do have children. And for those who regret having their children, I hope you find some type of peace and seek therapy to work through this.
I never wanted to be a mother, but I was careless and got pregnant. It was the worst news I have ever experienced in my life. The only thing I could think about was how I had ruined my life forever. My first thought was to abort, but the laws of the country where I live do not allow it. Everyone was happy except me. Everyone loved the baby except me. My pregnancy, although it was a good one, it was a sad one. The day my son was born was not one of happiness. Sadness and dreadfulness took over me, and the only thing in my mind was, this is how my life has ended. Nothing is mine anymore. And I couldn't do anything to change it. My time is no longer mine. My body is no longer mine. I have no freedom or autonomy. I cannot do what I want when I want. My son is already 5 months old, and I don't feel love for him. I never did. I treat him with kindness and respect because he is not to blame for my irresponsibility. I hate everything that comes with being a mother. I am the default parent, and I hate it. I lost my identity. I am no longer me. Now I'm just the mother of. I became invisible. I suffer from postpartum depression. I cry every day. I have anxiety and anger attacks that are sometimes very difficult to control and manage. I never thought I could feel numb and suffocated at the same time. I take refuge in my work. Those hours that I'm not with my son are the best of my day. I lost all desire to be with my husband. Just the thought of intimacy and it resulting in another pregnancy gives me a visceral feeling. My stomach turns and hurts. Luckily, I have a wonderful husband who has helped me a lot and who is with me at all times. He helps around the house and does not judge me for what I feel and think. I will be starting therapy soon because I can't deal with this anymore by myself. I need help. If I could turn back time and stop all of this, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Before we continue, I want to pause here for a second because I know this topic is hitting different for everyone watching. If you're a mom struggling with these feelings right now, first, you're not a bad person. These are valid emotions that more women experience than we talk about. And if you're someone who's thinking about having kids, or you're a partner trying to understand, this isn't about scaring anyone. It's about having real conversations instead of just showing the highlight reel. The truth is, we've created this culture where admitting motherhood is hard, or that you might regret it, is treated like the ultimate taboo. But suppressing these conversations doesn't help anyone. It just leaves women feeling isolated and guilty on top of everything else. So let's keep going and talk about what's really behind these feelings.
If you are debating having children, please stop and listen. My dream since I was a little girl was to have a baby. I wanted to be a mom. All I ever wanted was one little girl, and I was going to name her Harley, and my dream was going to be, that was it. That was the dream. I actually was given my dream. I married everything I ever put on paper for a guy that I would want. He's that and more. And then I get pregnant, and I have a daughter. I have a girl. Oh my God. Dream come true. I was like, this is great. Because I've only really ever wanted one child, and I wanted just one girl. And I was like, oh, thank you, God. I regret making being a mom my dream. And I wish that I did not have that as a dream. I have been severely disappointed with the dream. And my daughter is the cutest, most beautiful, fun, smart little girl, and I love her more than anything on this planet. I would give my life for her in 2 seconds. I would do it all over again for her 1,000,000 times over. All of that is facts. But what also is a fact at the same time is I was dreaming of a life that I had no idea what it was about. It's not just a few moments of like, no, don't do that. A few smelly diapers, and you're just gonna have this happy-go-lucky fucking family. No, that's not reality. That's not real life. You know what is real life? Me being at home, thinking that being a stay-at-home mom was a dream, and I actually was given the opportunity. And now we're in a position where I don't really have a choice but to stay home with her right now. It's temporary, thank God. But being a mother is the most draining experience of your life. It changes every single person around you. Every single person around you. Every single friend, every family member, the relationship with your husband, the relationship with yourself. I am so fat. I don't recognize myself at all. I was so much more fit before I had her. I was geared the fuck in. None of my clothes fit me. My husband works a lot more than he used to. So spending time with him, it's not like it used to be. We are in bed the latest at 9 o'clock every day. The world is the most terrifying place that it's ever been in for us as a country. And the thought that I can't do whatever I have to do to survive because I have her and I need to make sure that she survives, and I'm terrified of what her future is going to look like. I can't take a shit by myself. I can't eat when I want to. I can't go out and just get a Dunkin' whenever I want to. I can't film a video whenever I want to. I can't scream whenever I want to. I can't go to dinner whenever I want to. And let me explain this, because if someone were to tell me that with how bad I wanted children, I would have just said, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I love my future baby more than anything in the world. I want to make that sacrifice. You don't know what you don't know. You thinking that sacrifice, all of those things, isn't going to change you. And not just change you for good. Like, some of parts of me have changed for the worst, okay? I wish I got it earlier, okay? I wish I just had the click earlier that this isn't a life path that I have to take as a woman. If you are child-free, sometimes all you have to know is that you would be a good mother. Sometimes you just have to tell yourself, if I had kids, I would be the best mom. And you would have confidence in that. And then choose to not have children. I am trying to save you. Dream bigger. Dream bigger. Do not try to make the family that you've always wanted. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Go travel, bitch. Go be hot. Go create your family with friends and experiences and yourself and your spirituality and nature. Because, hot take, it's not worth it. My child is the best thing in the world and I love her so much, but I hate how much I love her. I hate the things that I know that I'm capable of doing to protect her. And especially in the state of the world right now, bitch, don't do it. I am terrified for her future every day. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. Do not have children. Do not do it to yourself. There is no return receipt. There's no... She is almost 9 months old, and I am still in the trenches. In the fucking mental trenches, okay? The rage I have inside of me the depression and the wanting to I have inside of me. Even with a supportive partner, even with a person that's your help, that's your village sometimes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It still fucking sucks. Because a baby, for many, 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 many years, not just a newborn, for many years, bitch, they are a parasite. And that means that they will not only suck every fucking thing of your energy, but they will also suck every ounce of your soul from your body. And I would do it for her. But I'm not ever doing it again for a non-existent child. No. I know better now. I'm smart. I will never do it again. So, listen. There's other people that are going to detest me, I'm sure, in the comments. There'll be people that agree with me. I'm just saying, my viewpoint matters here. I'm a mom of a 9-month-old. I'm 30 years old. I waited. I did everything right. And it's still the hardest thing I've ever done. And it still fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Most of the time it sucks. I am angry and tired and annoyed and depressed and fat more times than I am happy. I'm happy when she's smiling, when she's laughing. I'm happy in those moments. And then every other moment I'm miserable. So, don't do it. Especially with the climate right now in the world. Do not do it.
I was always on the fence about whether or not I wanted children. I knew it was not something I needed in the way that some people do. But coming from a big family and marrying into another, it was something that was expected of me. I was always told that my indifference to children was simply because they weren't mine. And once I had my own kids, I'd see that any fears or hesitations I had were unfounded. I was always told it was something I'd get over. About 2 years after we got married, my husband and I started trying to get pregnant. It didn't happen easily and wound up turning into years of fertility treatments and 2 miscarriages. I told my husband that if what we were trying didn't work, I was not willing to put myself through IVF. Instead of supporting my decision, he would dismissively say, "We'll see," and implied that it was a deal breaker if I didn't do everything humanly possible to see this through. Truth be told, I was worried about getting pregnant for a lot of reasons. One, because my husband was such a workaholic, and I worried that he'd prioritize his job over his family. I made it clear that I wanted our kids to have an actual father, unlike his, who thought that providing a paycheck and doing absolutely nothing else counted as being a good father. We had several conversations about my expectations of him as a parent, especially because I was so unsure of how much I actually wanted to be one. But he insisted he did, and 2 weeks after we accepted an out-of-state relocation for his job, I found out I was pregnant. We moved just weeks before I gave birth to our son, and as if a relocation at 8 months pregnant wasn't stressful enough, the company I worked for went back on their promise to let me stay on as a remote worker. They let me work right up until my due date, and then locked me out of the system, telling me to contact them if and when you find daycare, despite knowing that daycare had never been part of my plan. And even if it had, they'd just taken away my means to pay for it. I had horrific PPD, and to this day, I have never felt worse. My son was a miserable baby with terrible colic and acid reflux. He slept only in 1-hour stretches and cried the rest of the time. My thyroid was out of whack, but no one wanted to see me before the 6-week mark, so I dropped down to 96 pounds and couldn't make enough breast milk. I also had a pinched nerve in my back that made walking painful, wasn't sleeping, could barely find time to eat, and the worst part was I was 100% alone. My husband got 2 weeks of paternity leave, and that was it. He went back to work as if I wasn't a shell of myself, being terrorized by my hormones and an endlessly crying baby. He was awful to me to boot. After being awake with the baby all night, I would beg him to stay home a little longer so I could get some sleep, and he would say, "You already lost your job, I can't lose mine." One day, upon coming home to find both me and the baby crying, no dinner on the table, and me still in my pajamas, he said, "I don't understand why everyone else can do this, but you can't." I felt like he physically slapped me. When I begged him to let me hire someone to help with the baby, he replied, "Why? So you can really do nothing all day?" I was so angry at him, but so angry with myself for believing him when he promised to be a good dad. I wished that he had been honest with me and with himself, that his need to be a father was more about his need to appear perfect than it ever was about a desire to be a parent. He didn't want to be a father, he wanted to be able to say he was a father. But by the time he proved that, it was too late to turn back. I was a married single parent, and my own husband was letting me drown. I honestly think we'd be divorced if he'd not had his own bout with depression a couple of years after mine. He realized how horribly he treated me and that I wasn't weak or exaggerating what I'd gone through. He's a much better partner now, but I can't say I don't still harbor resentment for having to shoulder the burden of parenting alone for so long. No matter how much I love my son, my life isn't my own. My husband has never once had to consult with me before scheduling an appointment. He has never been sick and had to drag our son to the walk-in with him because he had no one to watch him. He has never spent all day in the hot sun making magical memories, only to come home exhausted and still cook dinner. I have done all of the above, and there's no end in sight. Everyone who told me my fears about parenthood were unfounded was dead wrong. And the worst part is, I think they knew it.
My daughter is apparently moving out. I'm in hopeful disbelief. I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm holding my breath to make sure it's real. Background, my daughter is 19 and I've raised her on my own after getting pregnant from SA. She developed serious mental health issues as a teenager that included violence towards me and a lot of trauma I've just had to squash down and not deal with to keep surviving until she could recover. I felt burnt out and desperate for my life back for so long. Now it seems it's almost here, and to be honest, I'm a little afraid to believe it. There was a thread that said, does it get easier when your kid gets older? Somebody replied, no, not for me. Bigger kid, bigger problems. If I could do it all over again, no, I would not become a parent. But that's only because I know the outcome. I love my son, but there were probably a good half dozen times when I was raising him that when I was 50-50 ready to swallow a bottle of pills directly related to the pain of being his mother. I do think that being a parent is worth the sacrifice when you have kids who generally accept that social construct of being parented. Sometimes when I think of everything I could have done with my life, that wasn't spending every day putting one foot in front of the other for a kid who did everything he could think of to make it as hard as possible, it's a little rough. At least now I have my life back, knock on wood, but the scarring runs too deep for me to think I would ever risk choosing this road again. My kids are in their 40s now. I regret having children. It warped and wrecked my life. My life single had been so good, through good times and bad, even with some big health challenges. My life as a mother was just not rewarding. It was a kind of long-term slavery with work 24/7, no vacations, no pay, no retirement plan, and no way out. I hated it. I don't regret doing the best I could, but doing it at all. That's what I regret profoundly. I will never get those decades back. Parenting didn't get better for me. 2 kids in their 20s. The older one is on the autism spectrum, Tourette's, ADHD, and bipolar with anxiety disorder. Can't live with them in the house. Too volatile, too stressful and chaotic, and potentially violent because of that. Costs us thousands a month to house them because they don't work. They get government support, but it isn't enough. Then the older one blames us for everything wrong in their life, takes responsibility for nothing, has meltdowns if we try to address any issues, ghosts us unless they want money, and then they say they want and wish for a closer relationship. It's very manipulative. Younger one refuses to have any relationship with older one, and I don't blame them. Younger is also ASD, Tourette's, and anxiety disorder, but is able to hold a full-time job and went to college. Teenage years were tumultuous and traumatic. Had to get older one out to protect myself and the younger one. Relationship with younger one is decent, but they have sort of distanced themselves from the whole family to protect their peace. I don't blame them. We still see each other, but holidays are difficult because it's several different dinners, all done and or organized by me. I hate the holidays now. Almost 30 years I've been parenting and helping, and I don't see older child being fully independent. We have to delay retirement so we can guarantee their housing in the future. We will have to sell our home and move from where we want to live so we can afford to do that. I still count us as lucky that we can even make it work. Some can't. Doesn't always get better. My daughter is 21 and she hasn't spoken to me in almost a year. The last time we communicated, she said the lowest of insults to me. She accused me of something I would never do, and it completely broke me. I have no idea what she's up to, and frankly, I don't care. She wished me the worst in life and said I was dead to her. I wasn't a perfect mom, but I tried my best. Her father and stepmother constantly undermined me and turned her against me. She knew right from wrong and still chose to disrespect me and treat me terribly through her entire teenage years. I tried to reconcile with her multiple times. She never honored my requests, yet demanded I bend over backwards to accommodate hers. Well, I'm done. I spent a year grieving since our last fight, and I reflected over the last few months since her birthday. She told me not to bother sending her a birthday card or holiday messages or anything. I did something she never did for me. I gave her what she wanted. I hope I never see her again. She's an adult, so I have no more responsibility for her. She's my only child. I can't believe I ever want a full house and lots of children. I wish I could get the last 2 decades back. My brother is 50 this year. He confided to me that he wishes he never had children at all. The way my nephew and niece turned out, I have to say I agree with him. Both kids are unbelievable disappointments. Drugs, guns, you name it. The nephew will start serving his sentence within the next month, so we'll have at least a decade or so where at least we won't have to deal with him. I never got fulfillment from being a mother. I always made sure everything was done by the book. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but it never gave me joy. It always felt like a chore, a responsibility. It felt like I was going through the same tedious motions day in and day out. I was really happy when my kids moved out and I was able to have my autonomy back. Not all of us are meant to be mothers.
The easiest way to know if a mother regrets motherhood or not, pay attention to the way she responds to you when you tell her that you don't want children. So, a content, happy mother, a mother who may say, motherhood is hard and it has its challenges, but I love being a mother. And, they are okay with or content with their choice. Their response is typically going to be, hey, motherhood is not for everybody. If you know you don't want kids, don't have them. You got to be sure, you got to make sure you pick the right person. It can be tough. They'll have this sort of aura of support and supporting you with you knowing who you are and what you want. A mother who regrets motherhood, and in my opinion, this is over half of them, this is just my own personal opinion, their responses are going to be a bunch of condescending questions. What's wrong with kids? Or any woman over a certain age that don't have kids, I don't trust bitches like that. Or your cooch must be trash. Or you're probably infertile. Or you don't have a purpose. Like you're not even a real woman. You're trying to escape responsibility. Who do you think? You're better than everybody else? They'll have that sort of vibe about them. I instantly know that those types of mothers, number one, regret motherhood. And number two, are insanely jealous of child-free women. Insanely jealous. Because you got to really think about mothers who are happy and content with their decisions. They don't have a dog in the fight. They don't have a reason to come at you and tell you things like, you're going to die alone and your life doesn't mean anything and you're trying to escape responsibility. They're not going to do that. That's not going to be their aura. That won't even be their vibe. You won't even feel that vibe coming from them. But the ones who are resentful, the ones who fell for the okie doke, the ones who regret their decisions, the ones who hate the bodies that they're in, the ones who baby daddies hate the entire F out of them. Baby daddies have probably even tried to them and unfortunately some of these women are unalived because of their baby daddies too, by the way. Those custody battles and all types of crap that they're going through, I think they have a flash comes before them or something. And they get upset that you as a child-free woman are not going to have to ever experience those things. And it pisses them off because it's not fair. Because it's like, who do you think you are that you can escape the hell that I'm in every day? And that's going to be the vibe or the aura that you get from them. I can honestly say that the vast majority of the people who tell me not to have kids if I don't really want them are mothers. And they are mothers who generally support child-free women in general. They think it's cool that we know ourselves. They think it's cool that we're able to make that choice. And that we're just very cognizant of the responsibility of motherhood to the point where we're like, we're not cut out for it or we just don't want to do it or whatever, But the resentful, bitter, what they call the bitter baby mama, their whole vibe, it just sucks, right? They just don't even know how to be positive about the situation. And that's how you know that they regret motherhood.
I love my kids, but I absolutely do not enjoy motherhood. From the age of 15 to now, I have never had a time to have a break. I am always responsible to do everything. The kids' fathers, they help when they want to help. But if it's not convenient for them, then it's left on me. I told my kid's father that I was mentally going through it. This nigga gonna say, oh, well, that's your fault. He leaves the kids off on me whenever he wants to. Whenever he can't find a babysitter, he leaves them off on me. And then he sits over there and he blames me. It's always my fault when he can't find a babysitter. So I'm always taking an L when it comes to jobs, just about anything. My life does not matter. My schedule doesn't matter to him at all. If you truly do not want kids and a man wants kids, don't do it. Because then at some point you're going to really regret it. We're not going to say you're going to hate your kids. But if you're not ready for all the responsibility that comes with being a mom, and just in case he leave you alone, do not have any kids. I am so stressed out, as you guys can see. Look at my eyes. This shit is not fun.
I'm not gonna lie, I keep seeing videos of women talking about how much they don't enjoy motherhood and how they regret being moms. And I understand that because I think that I might not enjoy motherhood either. If I got to that point, I'm not sure I would like it either. But I think this is happening to a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all are not having kids because you want kids. You're having kids because, like, you see a kid as a byproduct of the love you have for that man, which is valid. I do understand loving a man so bad that, like, oh, I want to have his babies, but that don't mean you actually do it, baby. If you don't want a kid so bad that you're willing to do it on your own, then you might not need to do it. Like, if the only way you're going to be happy as a mother is if you're doing it with this man, then you might not need to do it, especially if this man is not your husband. Not that him being your husband is going to make him stay, because we've seen that that's not the case. But, like, especially if that man is not legally binded to you in some way, then you probably don't need to have that kid unless you just know that you yourself want to be a mother no matter what. If you don't got love for the kids like that, you probably need to go ahead and use some protection, baby. I'm not gonna lie.
I consider myself someone that stands 10 toes down on the fact that I regret motherhood. It's like I don't regret my daughter, I regret the role.
I think people are rubbed the wrong way about it because most moms feel that way.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to say it.
There is an anxiety that I have developed having a child that never lived in me before at all. The fear of even when she's not with me and I don't have to be selfless, I'm still thinking about, is somebody going to hurt her? Is a fucking earthquake gonna happen? A mother is like who I am, like at my core, and because of that, it consumes a lot of my thoughts, and I fucking hate that.
I need space from my child in order to be a good parent. I can play as much as a 34-year-old woman can play.
Yeah.
But like feeling guilty about that too. Like, I chose to be a mother. You're supposed to love every part.
One day she's not gonna want to play
She's
with
not
you.
gonna want
and
to
then
play. You're gonna wish
play.
you played. No, I won't.
My boyfriend and I were having pillow chat last night over FaceTime. And he asked me, he said, Britt, do you want more children? And I said confidently, no. And he said, why? I said, well, before I used to say, oh, if my Prince Charming came along, perfect man, I wouldn't be selfish. I would have another child so we can have an ours. But now I know myself so well. I know what my left and right limits are, that I can safely say I am a one childbearing mother. I like my identity outside of being a mom. And parenting is like a lot. I enjoy it. I love my son. I wouldn't trade it, but I would just know adding more babies to what I already have going on, I'd go nuts. I'd go nuts. And knowing myself, knowing my bandwidth, mentally, I would not be able to take it. I am a super anxious person. I am super worrisome. I have a phobia of vomit. Oh my gosh, I am OCD. So that coupled with children, come on. I'm okay with the one. I'm okay with the one. But I just think it's so important that people know themselves. And also, can we talk about how expensive life is? Life is expensive. More kids, more resources. I love being able to give my son what he wants when he wants it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, like, how am I going to get the money to give him X, Y, and Z? And I feel so bad for people who are in that situation because it's tough. Like, you want to be able to give your children, you know, what they ask for, what they desire. But again, life is expensive. So more children, more resources. I like to travel. Come on, Cash, go get your backpack. Let's get up. Let's go. We can be mobile. We can maneuver. We can duck and dive. We can get things going. But 2, 3, then my range, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm just, no. So I'm totally fine with blending families and stuff like that. But as for me popping out another one, no, that's a strong no.
Here's my hot take, so don't come at me. But for the most part, motherhood is deeply unsatisfying. And we don't talk about it enough. And I'm not saying that because I dislike my role as mother. And yes, I know I chose to be a mom. I love being a mom. And I love my kids dearly. But 90% of my role as mother is not satisfying. It is the nitty-gritty. It is getting kids to clean up after messes. It is reminding kids to wash their hands. It is convincing kids to eat the meals I make. I mean, it is a lot of work. So much work. And in and of itself, that part is not satisfying. I do not go to bed most nights feeling satisfied in my role as mother. Far from it. If anything, I go to bed with intrusive thoughts, worrying about their future, feeling like I didn't do a good enough job. And I wouldn't say in any sense that makes me a bad mom. If anything, that makes me a great mom. But it's not a satisfying feeling. And I'm saying this out loud because I don't think we talk about it enough. And for a long time, I felt like I was doing it wrong because I saw other people, other moms on social media beaming and glowing about the milestones, talking about how satisfying this role is, and wondering if I was doing it wrong. And the truth is, we just don't talk about the unsatisfying parts. And I think we should.
This one's a regretful parents post. The top comment. I fit the bill, so I'm going to put it all out there for you. It's going to sound gross, but I'm willing to risk the downvotes to save your life and maybe your relationship. My spouse and I make bank. We own our own home, and we're currently building a bigger one. We've paid off our student. Wait,
good for you,
just
idiot.
fucking wait.
Okay.
We own our home and are currently building a bigger one. We've paid off our student loans years ago. We own our own vehicles, our own land. We waited until our 30s to have kids. My partner is the most loving and supportive person on the planet. I have a village of family who absolutely beg to help and spend time with our kid. We hired a nanny for a while, but even that wasn't enough. It all means nothing. And then she reiterates nothing in all caps. If it isn't the right fit. And for me, it definitely is the wrong fit. I still regret our decision every day. Like you, I never really imagined having a kid because I love sleep, I hate noise, and I don't like being touched all the time. I get overstimulated easily, had a great routine going in the mornings and evenings, etc. But I went against my better judgment thanks to exactly the line of thinking that you're on right now, which I assume was something so like, well, if you have enough money, you have a good partner, you have a support system, maybe it's not so bad. And let me assure you, becoming a parent was the worst thing to ever happen to our marriage, to my health, mental and physical, to my life, my job, my freedom, my goals and dreams, ... everything. If I had a time machine and could take it all back, I would. No hesitation. Our son is amazing, sweet, funny, smart, healthy, and cheerful. It doesn't matter. Life before was so good and so much better. I miss it every day, and it has been years. It doesn't get better. It doesn't get worse. It just isn't ... right or enjoyable. My spouse and I both agree we don't like the people we've become since having a child. It was a bad call. Don't make the same mistake we did. It's all a lie and a trap. I'm not kidding. No amount of quote-unquote perfect circumstance is enough to help you when parenthood is not for you.
This was a hard message to read. It's fairly short, but I want to ask you to please be kind in the comments and please just put yourself in someone else's shoes rather than rushing to judge, because this message is a little harsh and it could be easy to jump to judgment, but please reserve judgment and just put yourself in this woman's shoes. She says, I hate being a mother. I have 4, 2 boys, 2 girls. There are 2 fathers. One of them is a great father. The other is an alcoholic. Throughout the years, I've sacrificed everything. My youth, my time, my career, my life to be a full-time mom. Because at the time, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Not because I wanted to. But culturally, once you're a mom, that's it. You give up everything. Your happiness, your life, your career. I'm just so miserable. I hate being a mom. I hate my kids. Obviously, I don't starve them or beat them. I just do the bare minimum right now. I take them to school. I make dinner. I buy them the things they want and need, and that's it. I don't go out of my way to spend time with them or have fun with them. In fact, I avoid it as much as I possibly can. I don't date at all. I never have men around them. Because even though I hate my children, I don't like the idea of men being around them in case one of them is a creep. What I'm trying to get at is, I hate being a mom. I wish I was free from them, and sometimes when I let thoughts get the best of me and let my mind run, I think how I would feel if I just woke up and they were gone. poof, magic. Like the movies where they wake up and the life they dreamt is actually just that, a dream. I can't wait for them to grow up so I can finally have my freedom. But it sucks because then I'll be old. How fucking unfair. I never wanted to have children. My entire family knew I wasn't going to have them. Flash forward to adulthood when I married my husband. Suddenly, a switch flipped and we both wanted to start trying for a child. Suddenly, the wait until you find the right man comments seemed to make sense. It took 6 months until we were pregnant. It was exciting for both of us, and I fortunately had an easy pregnancy, but I was huge and uncomfortable. I never felt connected to my child in utero, but I was assured that that was normal, and I would once she was born. I was induced at 41 weeks, and after multiple hours of pushing, I had to have a C-section. I had several complications that led to me not meeting my daughter for several hours. The magical connection did not come. I did not want to hold her. I didn't want her around me. My husband and nurses did everything for me in the hospital. I saw my body and had a meltdown. As soon as we were home and trying to get in the swing of things, I knew I had made a mistake. I immediately broke down and told my husband I wish I had listened to myself about not wanting kids. He was and is so supportive and never made me feel bad about it. The bond with my daughter did come around the 4-month mark, but it didn't change my feelings of regret. I knew becoming a parent was a rest of my life thing, but it didn't really hit me until she was here, and I felt how much I didn't want to do this. It took us 6 months to get pregnant with her, but for some reason my IUD that I got after she was born has failed 3 times. I have had 3 abortions. My husband has since gotten a vasectomy because for some reason birth control didn't do anything. The love I have for my daughter is out of this world, and no one other than my husband has any idea about my true feelings. I have so many confusing feelings about what changed my mind. Was it pressure? Was it my head in the clouds from being newlyweds? I'll never know. But I wish I'd listened to my younger self when I knew I didn't want kids.
A mom admitted online that she loves her 3 kids, but regrets having them. She posted to Reddit recalling how much her life had changed since having her first child 12 years ago. She felt like her life had ended. Now she likens herself to a full-time nanny, chef, and maid for 3 little humans. She doesn't feel like her kids show her any respect and that they aren't even that fond of her, and her husband isn't helping matters any. She says she grew up with a bad mom, so now she overcompensates by always trying to take the best care of her home and her family, and she always feels underappreciated. She's not alone in these feelings. Studies have shown that around 1 in 10 parents regret having children, and they suffer in silence because there's a huge stigma attached to this regret. While many women are aware of the physical changes that can occur in order for them to become a mom, many women are not prepared for the overwhelming burden of becoming the primary caretaker for the family. Not to mention the fact that many stay-at-home parents face isolation, loneliness, loss of identity, and depression. The primary parent should have time for self-care, self-discovery, and time away from the responsibilities of being a parent. And the partner needs to step up and make the entire family a priority, which includes the mother. The key is finding balance, which isn't always easy. Hang in there, mama. You're not alone.
I'm going to say something that will make some people upset. I think we need to normalize regretting having your children. I'm a therapist and I work with kids, teens, young adults, as well as parents. And there are so many parents who have been vulnerable enough with me in their therapy sessions to admit that they regret having their children. Now, before you shame those parents, these are really, really good parents. Now, these aren't all parents that I work with. It's just an emotion that does come up in therapy that I don't think really gets talked about, because if they were to say some of these words out loud or to other people, they would get shamed for it. And don't get me wrong, these are amazing parents. They're great parents. They love their children. They would do anything for their children. They would never give their children up. But it's just talking about the emotion of regretting having them.
I have so many girlfriends that are like, I love my kid, but I still want my life from before I had my kid. I want to work even more now that I've had a kid because I realize being a full-time mom is fucking hard.
There has been this weird stigma around women who decide to not have kids. Yeah. I've been seeing it much more normalized now. On TikTok, I've been seeing all these videos where people are saying, I had kids and I love my kids, but if I could go back and do it over, I wouldn't do it. Right. And that's something that was so taboo to say, and it's super controversial. People are so scared if they do feel that way to actually say that out loud, but it's a real feeling that people actually have. Why is that so horrible to talk about? Doesn't mean you don't love your child, of course. You would never give them back.
It's not like you have to regret it to say, hey, if I knew what I was in for, I wouldn't do it.
Regretful parents are basically people who should have remained child-free. You know how many times I've told a parent I'm child-free and they go, that's a good decision. More people regret having children than society wants to admit. There's a forum on Reddit called Regretful Parents. It's filled with people who regret being parents but can't tell anyone in their personal life, so they go there to vent. I'm actually glad that they have that space to vent. As a society, we need to stop pressuring people to have children. We need to stop saying things like when you have children instead of if you have children. If someone tells you they don't want kids, don't say, oh, you'll change your mind. Stop asking them why they don't want kids when you don't ask people why they want kids.
So there we have it, the reality that some women are facing when it comes to motherhood, and why we're finally hearing these honest conversations. This isn't about attacking motherhood or discouraging anyone from having children. It's about acknowledging that the experience isn't universal, and that's okay. What really stands out to me is how isolated these women have felt. For so long, admitting you regret having children was social suicide. You were labeled selfish, ungrateful, or broken. But here's the thing. Having these feelings doesn't make you a bad mother, and it doesn't mean you don't love your kids. Human emotions are complex, and motherhood is one of the most life-altering experiences a person can have. I think what we're seeing is the result of decades of unrealistic expectations. Society sells this narrative that motherhood is naturally fulfilling for all women, that it's your highest purpose, that you'll instantly transform into this glowing, satisfied version of yourself. But the reality? It's exhausting, often thankless, isolating, and yes, some women discover it wasn't what they wanted after all. And let's be real about the support systems, or lack thereof. We expect women to sacrifice their careers, their bodies, their social lives, their identities, and then act like they should be grateful for the opportunity. Meanwhile, many are doing it with minimal help, inadequate health care, no paid leave, and partners who still expect them to handle most of the child care and household management. The women speaking up aren't trying to hurt their children or destroy families. Many of them are trying to love their kids the best they can, while also processing their own feelings honestly. And some are sharing their stories so other women can make more informed decisions about their own lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.